sure. Approximately an hour.
Right. How many people, how many police officers, patrol officers were part of that roll call?
I don't know the exact number. I would say approximately 30.
Okay. And when you said you had to stand in line to check out your equipment, was it all 30 of those patrol officers that would get in line and check out their equipment?
Yes, and supervisors.
Okay. And what equipment were you checking out that night?
A shotgun, a less lethal shotgun, mics for our cameras inside the car, pouches for our mics, batteries for our radios, keys for the cars.
Hi
Taser.
คืออาจจะต้องพูดภาษาอังกฤษนะเนี่ยทุกคน
That's about it right now.
ถ้าแบบมีต่างชาติ
There being cameras inside your car back on May 21, 2016?
เพราะว่าพี่ดูวันเนี้ยมันเป็นพี่ดูภาษาอังกฤษอะ
At the penthouse, you saw that there was a female holding and embracing Ms. Heard, correct?
เสียงเบาอ่ะ
I believe it was
I
when
saw
I was leaving
Johnny
the location
Sin.
when we were getting ready to leave.
What do you mean by sin?
Now,
What do you mean by sin?
That Ms. Heard was uncooperative because she was being emotional, crying, was refusing,
เสียงเบาอ่ะ
was hurt, and she didn't know initially whether she wanted to file a report or not, and then she didn't want to file a report, correct?
Correct.
Now, you said that Officer Science told you later that Ms. Heard called the number on the business card. Do you recall when Officer Science told you that Ms. Heard called the number on the card?
No, I don't recall.
Do you recall approximately how much time
เสียง
you
เบามาก
spent
อ่ะ
at the penthouse speaking with either the male or with Ms. Heard or looking at the premises that night?
I don't recall right now.
เพิ่มเสียงหมดแล้ว
Recall roughly whether it was 15 minutes, a half hour, hour?
I don't recall.
I don't recall.
I ask you to take a look at what has been marked as deposition exhibit number 17. I'll just scroll down so you can see that. Hold on. Do you recognize the person in this photo?
I believe that's Ms. Heard.
All right. Is this the same person
ไม่โชว์รูปวะ
on the night of May 21st, 2000?
Oh shit. Hmm. เสียงเบามาก
You were never close enough to Ms. Heard to be able to examine her face. Is that what you said?
Correct.
Okay. If you had seen this mark close enough to be able to see it, would you have believed you had an obligation to prepare a report?
Yes.
No, because I don't know what this is from.
You have to.
See it. Would you agree it's a red mark on her face?
Yeah.
I'll ask you to prepare a report.
No, because I don't know what this is from.
Okay.
Any other thing that was consistent with her crime.
In reviewing this picture, does it appear
เป็นเสียงของฝั่งคลิปเขาหรือเปล่า
on Ms. Heard's face in this picture?
No.
ใช่ มันเป็นของไลฟ์ฝั่งนั้นอะเสียงเบา
No.
Where do you from?
Because I don't see an injury.
I'm Malaysia. No, I'm not from Malaysia. I'm from Thailand.
And do you recognize this carpeting?
No.
Officer Haddon, what do you see in this picture?
I see stripes.
พูดถึงอะไรอ่ะ ใครทันบ้างอ่ะ นี่เพิ่งมา มันสิอะไรอ่ะ มันสิเกิดออกยังไงภาษาที่อะไรวะทำไมพี่นายไม่สตรีมที่ YouTube หรอครับ โดนบล็อก Facebook 2 วัน ไปเม้นด่าคนอื่นไว้
of May 21st, 2016.
At this
ขวัญ
current
สามอันนี้มา
article,
And when you say at this point, not that you can recall, what do you mean by that?
it's 5 years ago. I don't remember.
Officer Haddon, I'm going to show you what has been marked as Haddon Exhibit number 19. Do you recognize the business card?
เสียงเบาอ่ะ
And tell me.
ก็น่าจะประมาณนั้นแหละเขาอาจจะพูดเบาก็ได้ เหมือนได้ยินแค่ฝั่งขวา
My handwriting, and those are our LAPD business cards.
พี่รู้จักไอดอลไฟล์ไหมไม่ พี่ครับดูหนังครับไปดูก่อนเลยค่ะ
You see that?
Yes.
Okay.
ช่วยกันตอบฝรั่ง
That Ms. Heard did not want to press charges?
She spoke with my
React to
partner,
Dilo
and that's what my
2019
partner
Winner
advised me.
Completion
Were you ever in the room when Ms. Heard either refused report or refused to press charges?
I believe we offered her one final chance before we
I'm
gave
not
her the
I'm not
business
here
card. If she
to
needed medical treatment or
do some react
a report. And
just so you
she
know I'm
declined
not
at that
here
time,
for that
and that's when we
so
issued this business card.
maybe you can wait
And what did you
for me
mean
to
by
make another
report?
clip
An
เล่นโดนมาเกลียด
official
ไม่ชอบหน้า
investigative report.
อีมาไม่หรอกพี่ไป
Is that the
เม้นด่า
victim's choice
คน
to write whether you write
ว่าไอ้ควาย
an official investigative report?
Yeah. A citizen
ปก
can
ติ
ask
YouTube ดี
for
เล
a
ย์
report
30
for
วิ
anything
พี่
essentially
ไม่ได้
without
ตั้ง
a
ดี
delay.
เลย์ค่ะ น้องสาวพี่อายุกี่ปี
Do you have
17
an obligation as an LAPD patrol officer to write a report if you see
ส
injuries
วัสดีครับ
or
ดูครั้งแรก
property
ครับ
damage?
เขาก็เพิ่งมาสตรีมครั้งแรก ถึงไหนแล้วเนี่ย
If there's evidence of a crime, yes.
And when you say if there's evidence of a crime, would injuries and property damage constitute evidence of a crime?
If there's evidence of a crime, yeah.
ถามเหมือนเมื่อวานถามเหมือนเมื่อวานถาม
Is there
คือเมื่อวานมี
something
ตำรวจผู้หญิง
different
มา
about
คน
what
นึง
you're saying
แล้วก็
than
ถาม
what
เหมือนกัน
I'm
เลย
asking? Well, I'm trying to understand when I say if you see evidence of injuries and property damage, is that evidence of a crime in your mind?
ฮะ
Yes, if the person didn't do it themselves. I mean, I can damage my own property and it's not a crime.
เออ
Okay. Did you have any reason to believe that Amber Heard created any injuries to herself or to the property at the
Yes.
time you were there on May 21st, 2016?
No, because I don't recall seeing any damaged property or her obtaining any injuries or having visible injuries that I saw.
Now it says
พี่อยากดู
advice
อยาก
can
ดูพี่ให้ทำคลิป
call
อีก
at
บอกอีก
later
ดู
time
ของพี่
if changes
ครบทุกคลิปยัง
mind.
น้อง
What if
สาวหรือ
any
จะสู้พี่เฮพี่เฮ
discussion
น่ารักกว่า
did
เย
you
อะ
have with
เคยเห็นน้อง
Officer
สาวพี่เหรอ
Sines about what that meant?
Well, what that goes with what I said earlier was a citizen can make a report about anything at any time. It's called an investigative report or just an incident report. So if she wanted a report, then she would call us back and we'll take a report.
เออ
But at that point, you have already written into your system that the victim advised verbal dispute only, correct?
Correct.
And you did not write a report or take pictures or create any kind of record, did you, of anything that transpired there?
โอ้ย
Just the business part.
I'm going to ask you, Officer Haddon, to take a look at what has been marked as deposition exhibit number 24. Do you
อันน้
recognize
อย
the
ยิ่ง
person
สั
in
ส
this
ๆเลยอ่ะอีเหี้ยเนี่ย
picture?
Miss Heard?
เห็นน้องสาวในพี่ในไอจี
Well, do you recognize her as Ms. Heard?
ดูครบเลยค่ะพี่
No, I had no idea who she was.
Do
รู้
you
จักเจเดน
recognize
สมิธไหม
the person in this picture on Haddon
ผมว่า
exhibit
เป็น
number
คำถามเชิงจิตวิทยา
24
เปล่าถาม
as
ซ้ำๆ
the
เพื่อกดดัน
person who was the
มันเขาเป็นตำรวจอ่ะ
subject of your
คิดว่าเขา
and
จะมากด
Officer
ดันอะไรแบบ
Sines
นี้ป่ะ
reporting to the Eastern Columbia building that evening.
Correct.
All right, so let's go to exhibit number 24. And what do you see in this picture with respect to whether there is any injury depicted on Ms. Heard?
I see a female white, fair skin with cheek.
I'm sorry, with a what?
pink cheek and pink eyes.
ก็มันพอร้องไห้ไง because she cried.
Do you recognize that as a potential injury?
No.
Knowing what our investigation revealed, no, it's that pink's consistent with crying.
เบื่อเล่นเกมไหมไม่รู้เล่นมั้งถ้าเบื่อ
What do you mean by what your investigation revealed?
observation
That it was a verbal dispute. And she refused that she had any injury.
And just so we're clear again, you were never in the presence of Ms. Heard when she at any time said it was only a verbal dispute, correct?
Correct.
Now, would you as a police officer investigating, if you saw this, what's depicted in this picture, would you believe that you need to investigate further?
Yeah, I would need additional information. Just because I see a female with pink cheeks and pink eyes doesn't mean that something happened. They should be sad and crying that their dog died.
Did you engage in any further investigation?
No, the only investigation I did was part of
so she's Thai
speaking to my partner.
Yeah,
and
I'm
then,
Thai.
Speaking with the witness.
Hola
With the witness, the next door
the
neighbor.
neighbor yeah kinda
And what did you discuss with the witness, the next door neighbor?
I tried to
พี่เลี้ยง
obtain
ผมก็เพิ่งมาติด
information
ตาม
of
เมื่อวาน
what
เอง
occurred.
พี่ติดตามมาตั้งแต่อาทิตย์ที่แล้ว
What did you ask?
Who, what, when, where, why.
who when where
And what did he say?
who what when
I don't
where
remember
why
his exact words, but he wasn't very coming with the information. I had very vague information as far as what he was telling me.
What do you specifically recall the witness telling you?
I don't recall.
You don't recall at all?
I don't recall specific words or sentences.
Do you recall the witness taking you around and showing you property damage in the penthouse?
No, I recall my partner and I doing a protective sweep, and that's it.
You don't recall Josh Drew being with you and taking you through?
I don't recall if someone else was with us or not.
Do you recall one way or the other?
I don't recall.
All right. Now, you have a recollection of you and Officer Science going through the entire penthouse, is that correct?
We did a protective sweep of the location that she was at.
And tell me what you
มัน
mean by
ถาม
protective
คำ
sweep.
ถามเดิม
We walked
เมื่อวานเลยอะ
the general housing area that she was
Amber
at
is getting
to make
rolled
sure that
yeah
there's no one else
you
in
know
there that
like
shouldn't be there, or
if
there's
Amber
no,
win this case
no one
I'm
hurt.
not gonna believe in like in the humanity at all
Do you recall how many rooms you went through?
No, I don't.
I'm going to ask you if the officer happened to take a look at number 25. Do you recognize
is
this
she
as
gonna
Ms.
take a
Heard?
stand
Yes.
All right. And do you see any injuries depicted on this picture?
anybody knows like
No.
she gonna
I'm going to show you what has
She
been
gonna
marked
take a
as
stand?
exhibit number 26. Do you
พี่เอจบ
recognize
ม
this
หา
as
ลัย
Ms. Heard?
หรอ
Yes.
ใช่จบมหา
Do
ลัย
you see any injuries in this picture?
No.
I'm going to ask you the same question. Exhibit number 27. Do you recognize this as Ms. Heard?
Yes.
And do you see any injuries in this picture on Ms. Heard?
No.
I'm going to ask the same questions. Officer Haddon, I'm going to ask you to look at Haddon exhibit number 28. Do you recognize this as Ms. Heard?
Yes.
And do you see any injuries depicted on Ms.
พี่
Heard's
สอบ
face?
ผ่านไหม
in this
เอ้า
picture?
ถ้าพี่
No.
Show
ถ้า
you
พี่สอบไม่
exhibit
ผ่านพี่
number
จะจบมาได้ยังไงล่ะ
29. Do you recognize this as Ms. Heard?
Yes.
Do you see any injuries on Ms. Heard in this picture?
No.
on this picture
Now, you indicated that you and Officer Sines went through the apartment, correct?
Correct. We did a protective sweep.
Protective sweep. And in doing the protective sweep, you did go in the room, correct?
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't know exactly where we went, but we walked around what she claimed was her living quarters.
Would you agree that if Ms. Heard displayed injuries at the time that you reported to her residence after the domestic violence call,
No,
that you would have had an obligation
I can speak
to prepare
English.
a report?
You can ask me in
If there
English
was
and I will
injuries
answer
or
in
complaint of pain,
English.
yes.
I'm sorry, injuries or what?
Complaint of pain?
Would you agree that if Ms. Heard displayed injuries that you perceived to be injuries at the time you reported to Ms. Heard's residence after the domestic violence call on May 21st, 2016, you had an obligation to prepare a report?
If I perceive them to be injuries, then yes.
Okay. Would you agree that if there was property damage present at the time you reported to Ms. Heard's residence after the domestic violence calls, you had an obligation to prepare a report?
He said no.
No, because if she's living there, that's her property, and she's being uncooperative and doesn't say that someone else did it or anyone else did it, then I have no other information to go off of. She could have broken it herself.
Officer Haddon,
พี่เฮเลนเป็นแอร์โฮสเตสใช่ไหมใช่ครับ
provide any pamphlets to Ms. Heard, you or Officer Sines,
No.
relating to domestic violence?
I personally did not.
Do you know whether Officer Sines did?
I don't know.
Oh my god, this lawyer is so
And ladies and gentlemen, at this point, counsel for Mr. Depp takes over the questioning.
ต่อไปจะเป็นทนายฝั่งจอห์นนี่เดฟถามแหละ
Did you see Ms. Heard's face on the evening of May 21, 2016?
Yes.
On how many occasions did you see her face?
I believe 2.
And the first time you saw her face, how close to her were you?
I don't recall exactly. I think it was approximately 10 feet.
Did you perceive any, did you have any problems with your eyesight at that time? Did you have 20/20 vision as of May 21, 2016?
No, I wear contacts though, so I can't see perfectly fine.
Were you wearing your contacts that evening?
Yes.
Did you have any trouble seeing the contours of her face the first time you saw her that evening?
No.
Did you perceive any signs of injury on her face or anywhere else on her body that was visible to you?
No.
There's no injury.
For how long a period did you
ยังเป็นอ
view
ยู่เหรอ
her
คะ
face
ใช่
the
ค่ะ
first
แต่
time
ไม่
you
ได้ไป
saw
บิน
her that night?
พี่สักลายไหมสักค่ะ
A few seconds, not very long.
Hi there hi
And how much later was the second time you saw Ms. Heard?
Right before we left.
And how close to her were you when you observed her face?
Approximately 10 feet.
Did you have a clear view of her face?
Yes.
Did you still have your contacts in at the
Oh.
time?
Yes.
Was there sufficient light that enabled you to actually see her face?
Oh okay
I believe so. I believe it was the light was a little dimmer, but it was still lit.
Did you perceive any
this is kind of like
signs
like
of
all the
injury to
detail
her face
is
on that second occasion?
needed
No.
for
Did you see
defend
any swelling
another
of
side
any kind on
to
her face,
play some tricks
either
something like that
during the first time you saw her or the second time you saw her that night?
No.
Did you see any marks on her face either the first time you observed her that night or the second time you observed her?
Just the redness, which was consistent with her crying.
like maybe
Did you see any time that night
not
any
comfortable
indication of any bruising
to
on
show
her
his
face?
face
No.
because
Did you see
this is
at any
a
time
like
that
a
evening
public
any indication
case
or any sign
like
whatsoever of any
the
injury
live
to her face?
streaming
No.
around the world so yeah
And going to your was it the security? What was the term you used? The security sweep, is that correct?
The protective sweep?
Protective sweep.
sweep
during your protective sweep, was your access barred to any part of the penthouse?
My access what? Sorry.
Did you have free access to the penthouse?
The witness that was there, he kind of, I believe he guided us kind of through the place. I don't know, wherever he guided us through.
Did you see any broken glass anywhere in the penthouse where you did the protective sweep?
Not that I remember.
Were you looking for any signs of a disturbance?
Yes.
Why were you looking for signs of a possible
because
disturbance?
he did a protective sweep ไง
Or any evidence that a crime has occurred?
โอ้บางที
Is that part of
คำถามมัน
is
น่า
that
หงุดหงิด
standard
อะ
procedure, a police procedure?
yeah of course
Yes.
And why do you look for potential signs of vandalism or disturbance to
Where are
property
you
in the
from?
course
From
of a domestic violence
พี่ติดตามพี่ก็บอกแล้ว
allegation or
พี่ว่าคดีนี้ใคร
possibility?
จะชนะพี่ยังไม่ได้เห็น
just because
แบบ
that
ยัง
tends
ไม่
to
ได้
happen when
ไม่รู้ว่าเอมเบอร์มันจะขึ้นสืบพยานไหม
some
อะ
type of domestic
ตอนนี้ถ้าดูจากแค่ตอนนี้อะก็คือ
altercation
ป่าเดฟ
occurs
ชนะอยู่
between
แล้ว
two
อะ
people.
Did you see any sign of any kind of property damage or vandalism that evening?
Not that I recall.
Did you see any signs of spilled wine on the floor?
object
Not that I
what
recall. If they were visible or a complaint of pain.
Do you recall some questioning from Ms. Heard's counsel, Ms. Bredehoft, about a man who led you through the penthouses on the evening of May 21, 2016?
Yes.
Did you describe him as uncooperative?
Yes.
Let me ask another question. Was he cooperative with your inquiries that evening?
No.
What do you mean by that?
she didn't answer the question
I attempted to gather information of who the husband was, and what occurred, and where he possibly went, so we could interview kind of all the different parties. And he wouldn't even give me a name of who the husband was.
And how long did you interact with that person who in fact is Josh Drew?
I'd say approximately 5 to 10 minutes.
Did he report to you in words or substance that any domestic violence had occurred?
I don't recall any exact verbiage he said.
Did he report to you in words or substance
พี่มีมอไซค์ไหม
any vandalism?
No, not that I recall.
On the evening that you and your partner got a call to the penthouse on May 21, 2016, were you and your partner in a particular hurry to close out this incident?
No.
Were you willing to stay as long as was necessary to resolve the matter?
Yes.
Would you generally take notes for a verbal dispute only?
When we disable the call and we get rid of the call,
in
we
trouble
leave our comments of what occurred and what we did in that call.
he used to be in trouble
Would you
but
generally
not
write
now
a report for a verbal dispute only?
No, unless it's at the request of one of the parties.
When you were typing in your computer to add text to a call, is it common to refer to the focus individual in the call as a victim, whether a crime has been committed or not?
Yes, because that's how the call was
point.
broadcasted and created.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, counsel for Ms. Heard completes the questioning.
กลับมาถาม
Now, there was another woman that was present as well, correct? That night?
yes
I believe so, yes.
Do you remember testifying earlier that at the end she was holding and embracing Ms. Heard?
Yeah, I believe she's sitting on the couch with her when we left.
Did you interview that woman?
No, she was with Miss Heard when my partner was speaking with her. I believe. I never spoke to her. Did you ever attempt to interview that woman that was on the couch who was embracing Miss Heard? No, because I was speaking with the gentleman outside.
Do you know whether Officer Science ever attempted to interview that woman who was sitting on the couch?
I am unaware.
Okay. Now, let's go back to the description that you gave, and you responded again to it with Mr. Chu, that she was crying and had a red face, and you said the redness was consistent with crying. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay. Why was she crying?
I don't know.
Who the fuck knows?
Did you ask her?
Oh
I
my
personally
God.
did not because my partner interviewed her.
Then when you downloaded with your partner later, did you ask Officer Science why Amber Heard was crying?
No, my partner never advised me. She spoke with her while I was speaking with the gentleman.
Do you recall that you testified that there was another woman who was embracing Ms. Heard on the sofa at the end of your visit?
Yes.
Do you recall asking why she was embracing and holding Ms. Heard? Why did you not ask either the other woman or Ms. Heard why the woman was embracing and holding
Stupid
Ms. Heard?
questions
Why I did
ever
not is because we were training
เห็
in
นแล้ว
the
คิดถึงตอนที่
academy
แกเป็น
to
แจ็คพูดว่า
separate
โลก
the
มันกว้าง
parties
ขึ้น แต่
and
มัน
to
น่าอยู่น้อย
try
ลง
and attempt to build a rapport with the individual we're speaking with.
สงสารป่า
Therefore, it was two females and my partner was female, so therefore my partner spoke with the female.
nice
Would it be fair to say
answer
you deferred to Officer Science to conduct any type of investigation with both Ms. Heard and the other woman who was embracing her?
I know my partner spoke with Miss Heard. I am unaware. I cannot testify if she spoke with the other female.
When you said you learned at the academy to divide up the parties, was it your understanding that parties meant the victim and the suspect?
All parties.
อ๋อ
Do you know whether anyone made an attempt to divide up the woman from Ms. Heard, the woman that was embracing her?
I'm unaware.
Okay. Now, the redness that you said was on Ms. Heard's face when she was crying and emotional, could it also have been consistent with injury?
Do
oh
not
my
think so.
god
I
you
perceived
already
it as
asked
redness from
him
crying.
Did
Damn
you
it.
consider whether the redness on the face might be from something in addition to crying?
No, I did
no
And you had never met Ms. Heard before, correct?
not. Never even seen her.
And would it be fair to say that you don't know what Ms. Heard's, what her characteristics are for swelling, bruising, redness, correct?
Correct.
I'm going to ask you, Officer Haddon, to look at what has been marked as Haddon Exhibit number 8, and it's from the Office of the Chief of Police, and it's dated November 24, 2014, and the subject is Domestic Violence Supplemental Report, Form 15.40.02 revised. Do you see that?
I do.
This was provided to us by the LAPD in response to our document requests. Did you have an understanding that there was a domestic violence supplemental report form that was in place as of May 21st, 2016?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what is exhibit number 9. And this is called Domestic Violence Supplemental Report. And it is something, is it your understanding that the police officer fills this out?
Yes, so we fill that up.
Okay.
what is her point
Do you
what is
recall whether
her
you
point
had filled
เสียใจ
out
ฟังไม่
this
ออก
supplemental
เสีย
report
ใจเหมือนกันอยากให้ฟัง
at
ออกเหมือน
any
กัน
time prior to May 21st, 2016?
ฝึกภาษาอังกฤษกันเยอะๆนะคะทุกคน
Now, if we look at the first column on the Domestic Violence Supplemental Report, it has a column that says victim. and then there are a number of descriptive words underneath with boxes. Do you see that?
I do.
All right. Now, the first one is shaking. What, if any, observations did you make of Ms. Heard shaking?
No, I don't recall.
All right. What, if any, observations did you make about Ms. Heard being unresponsive?
The little time I dealt with her, yeah, she was unresponsive and crying.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the first part. She was unresponsive and crying, did you say?
มีแค่พี่เฮฟังออกคนเดียว
And
คนอื่น
I
ก็ฟัง
guess
อ
you've
อก
answered the third one here, that she was crying,
พี่เฮ
correct?
นั่งฟังอย่างตั้งใจ
Yes.
พี่สนใจ
And what, if any,
เคสนี้อ่ะ
observations did you make
พี่ดู
of
มา
whether
เป็น
Amber
อา
Heard
ทิต
was
ย์แล้วอ่ะ
scared?
I didn't.
คิดถึงพี่จัง ฟังไม่ออกแต่นั่งดูความน่ารัก
I did not
พี่ไม่ได้
observe.
ทำอะไรเลยน่ารักอะไรล่ะ พี่แบบตอนแรกกะจะนั่งดูคนเดียว แต่ว่าแบบ ลองมาส
Yeah,
ลอง
I
มา
did not
สตรีม
observe her
ดูอ่ะ
being fearful.
เพราะว่าไม่เคยสตรีมใน
But Ms. Heard
YouTube
did not want to file a report,
แล้ววันนี้ก็ส
correct?
ตรีมใน Facebook ไม่ได้
Correct.
โดนบล็อก
She did not want to press charges, correct?
Correct.
And she did not want to tell you the name of her husband, correct?
I don't know because I didn't talk to her.
Well, do you recall testifying earlier that Ms. Heard was uncooperative?
Oh my god
Yes, she was uncooperative with my partner.
All right. And do you recall testifying that Ms. Heard was uncooperative because she was emotional, she was crying, she wasn't sure whether she wanted to file a report or not, and she was not, then she
Who
said
the
she did
fuck
not want
would
to?
know that
Yes, that's
Who the
what she
fuck
had
would
spoken
know
to
the
my partner about.
reason
Do you know why Ms. Heard did not want to file
Oh,
a
hi,
report?
hi.
Or did not want to press charges?
No, I did not.
ตกอับเพราะเมียไม่ตกอับ
Go
หรอก
ahead, and I'm going to show you where it's been marked as deposition exhibit number 10.
ไม่ตกอับอะถ้าตกอับจอห์นนี่เดฟไม่มีทางไม่มีปัญญาจ้างทนายมาสู้หรอก
Starts
Johnny
out
Depp
with
ก็มี
Field
ตังค์
Notebook Divider Domestic Violence Laws LAPD Form 18.30.02.
ถอดแว่นเถอะครับน่ารักเกิ
And
น
it has the date. This is
แสบตา
date of January 31, 2010 at the bottom with the footnote. I'm going to just direct your attention here to case preparation, and this is relating to domestic violence
ต้องการ
laws.
เฮียอะไร
Case
อะท
preparation
นาย
says, note the complainant's emotional and physical condition. You see that?
Yes.
Okay. And then ensure all evidence is gathered and preserved, e.g. bloodied clothing, damaged bones, damaged property. You see that?
Yes.
Okay. Did you or Officer Sines provide any kind of notes relating to Ms. Heard's emotional and physical condition on May 21, 2016?
No.
Did you or Officer Sines ensure all the evidence was gathered and preserved, including the damaged property?
I said no, and all these things would have been documented if there was a report.
เออ
All right, let's go to the next bullet point. It says ensure photographs
คลิปนี้
are
มันเกี่ยวกับ
taken
เรื่องอะไร
of injuries
คดีความของจอห์นนี่เดฟกับแอมเบอร์อะตอนนี้สืบพยานอยู่
and accused.
ปากสี
Both the day of
สี
and the
ปาก
day
สวย
after.
ขอบคุณครับ
Did
I
you
don't
take
understand
any
anything but I'm very
photographs to
interested to
show
see
a
your
lack
reaction
of injury?
I'm not gonna do any reaction
No.
on beatbox
Did you take
Today?
any photos to show a lack of damage?
I'm just watching
No.
the trial of
And
Johnny
then
Depp
this next
because
one is ensure photographs are taken of the scene
Because I'm-
and damaged property.
you know
and
like
so
I'm
on.
interested in this
So I've already asked you.
I
that one,
has
so
been
let's go to the
watching
next
this
one.
since
Canvas
like last
location
week
and interview all witnesses, including children, neighbors, law enforcement.
น่าคิดแบบตล
Did
กตลก
you do
เด็ก
that
เขา
in this
ตกอับแบบ
instance?
แต่ตังค์ที่จ้าง
Yes.
ทนายคือตังค์สุก
Who did-
เงิน
who did
เมีย
you
ไว้
interview?
เลยจ้างได้
I spoke with the
ไม่หรอก
All right. Anyone else?
No, that's it.
Now
พี่มีรถ
there
เป็น
were
ของตัวเองไหม
two
ไม่มีค่ะ
females
ปวดหัวแทนตำรวจถามอะไรก็ไม่รู้ถามอะไรแบบถามแบบซ้ำไปซ้ำมา
Yes. Including her, I believe there's two.
You don't recall the third woman there?
No, I don't recall a third one being there.
All right. Did you ask if there was anybody else that was present who had witnessed any aspect of this?
I don't recall exactly, but
I mean, like, what is your point?
So what did you determine this call was after your investigation?
Dispute, a verbal dispute. It's not against the law to argue. I argue with my wife.
So you decided that there was only a verbal dispute, therefore it didn't constitute domestic violence?
From the information or lack of information I was able to receive from the witness and the information my partner gathered, yes.
Is it your understanding that a police officer can be brought up on charges of misconduct if they engage in neglect of duty?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Is it also your understanding that a police officer can be brought up on misconduct charges at the LAPD if they violate department policies, rules, or procedures?
Yes.
Yes.
And is it your understanding that a police officer can be brought up on charges of misconduct if they engage in conduct which may tend to reflect unfavorably upon the employee or the department?
What? ต้องการอะไรอ่ะ
All right. Thank you. Your next witness is by deposition also. I assume you need a few minutes to switch that out. Or are you ready to? We're ready.
ยิ่งมันถามแบบเนี้ยตำรวจยิ่ง
That's right. Okay, why don't we go ahead and it's early, but let's go ahead and take a morning recess for 15 minutes so we can take care of that and get it set up with the next deposition, okay? So don't talk to anybody and don't do any outside.
พัก15 นาที พี่เจอแดดสักครั้งไหมครับ เจอสิ พี่ผมงง แกฟังไม่รู้เรื่องแกก็งงสิไม่แปลก วันนี้ฉันมาแบบ speak English food fit for fire โอเคปะฟังออกก็ออก ฟังไม่ออกก็ไม่ออก ช่วยไม่ได้จริงๆเฮ้ย นี่เซฟวิดีโอไว้เต็มเลย เมื่อวานอะอย่างแย่อะ
But we don't have to do this every time we disagree.
นิสัยไม่ดีไอ้ดอกเนี่ย
Or characterologically
conducting
conduct that suggests they may be an IPV perpetrator, correct? I have to ask that again because I stumbled. I can't do characterologically. That one's just a tough one for me. Okay. Dr. Curry, you're not board certified, correct?
No, I'm not.
Not in clinical psychology or in forensic psychology, correct?
No, I'm a licensed clinical psychologist.
But you're not board certified?
No.
Yes.
Okay. And you also have only been practicing approximately 8 years, is that correct?
That's not correct.
How many years?
I've been licensed for 10 years, and I've been practicing for about 15 years.
Okay. Now, you went to Mr. Depp's home for dinner and drinks before you were hired as an expert in this case, correct?
That's not quite right. I was interviewed at Mr. Depp's home by his legal team. Dinner was served.
Reaction beatbox.
That's a little odd that you're getting interviewed
No,
by Mr.
not
Depp
now.
to
Not
decide
today.
whether you're going to testify adversely against Amber Heard, and he was serving dinner and drinks.
He was
Correct?
not serving dinner and
Well,
drinks.
it was at his house, at his
อย่าง
behest,
แย่
correct?
ดอกเกลียด
Yes, it was at his house.
เมื่อไหร่คดีนี้จะจบสักทีวะ อยากเห็นชนะแล้วอะไม่ได้อยากเห็นอะไรนะอยากเห็นป่าชนะแล้วอะมันแบบมันนี่แล้วอะมันน่าเบื่อ
It's common for the perpetrator to essentially gaslight the victim, accuse them of being the perpetrator. Would you agree?
That's a characteristic of psychological abuse, yes.
Okay, and it's common then for them to accuse them of being the perpetrator, the victim.
That's a
Would go
characteristic of
both
abuse
ways.
from women perpetrated against men. It's actually very, very common. About 90% of male victims of IPV have reported that a female partner who abuses them makes threats to report.
You heard Ms. Heard say, "Get off me," right?
No, I did not. Hitting the wall hard based on the
We'll just take a look at the
accusations
next
that she
exhibit.
ทำเป็น
threw
จับ
out.
คาง
I'm
ด
sorry,
อก
I was talking. Is that all right?
You'd answer my question.
ซิม
We'll
สัน
take a look
ที
at the
เชอร์
next
โซ
one.
cool thank you
As long as you're happy, sir.
as long as you're
You didn't
happy
want
sir
her acting. You wanted to control her career, correct?
Objection, compound.
That's patently
Hold on,
untrue, and it's a
Mr.
great
Debs,
guess.
sir. All right, yes, I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Sorry.
We can, did I read that right?
oh.
Yes, Mr. Rottenborn.
You're complaining
Yes,
about her
Mr.
ambition in this text to her, to Dr. Kipper, correct?
I'm realizing that her ambition is far stronger than her supposed feelings for me, yes. It doesn't mean that I actually literally cut my finger off after, at the age of 12, finding the only thing that gave me peace, which is playing
มี
the
เสียงเหรอ
guitar.
ไม่ได้ยินนี่
Very
สิ
unlikely. Why didn't I start lopping off digits
Can
when
you
I was
say
13?
voice
Just the way it was worded.
not now
Now, Ms. Heard, what?
Objection, relevance.
What's the relevance?
When
พี่
you're
ดู
nervous,
ก๊อปแบ็ค
Sir,
ฮาร์หน่อยครับ ไม่ดูครับ
pardon.
She was trying to get you to stop using drugs. But
She had
let's take a
used
look at
the
what you
same-
say in
She had
this
used
text.
that term before.
In this text, Mr. Depp, you say there were numerous negative news stories about you. You'd agree with that, correct?
Objection, compound.
All right, I'll sustain it to compound.
Thank you so much.
May 7th,
Thank you so
2016. It's entitled Johnny Depp. Friends and family seriously concerned about him. Here's why.
Yes.
Correct.
How did they know?
The next article from May 1st, 2017.
ก็จริงอ่ะ รู้ได้ไงอ่ะ
Before Ms. Heard filed says Johnny Depp reportedly drank heavily and was constantly late on the new Pirates movie set. Did I read
รู้ได้
that
ไง
right?
อ่ะ
You did, reportedly.
The next
These are
article,
all hit
also
pieces.
from May
These
10th,
are drags, sir.
2017. Mr.
This
Depp,
is a pathetic attempt.
Mr. Depp, please just respond to the question that I'm asking you.
What's your
The next
question, Mr.
question,
Rottenborn?
the next document
Yes.
is entitled Johnny Depp's financial woes might sink the next Pirates of the Caribbean. Did I read that right?
You did. I don't
มัน
know.
กำลังจะแบบ
Financial woes would
อัน
be-
เนี้ยมันกำลังจะเหมือนป้ายสีให้เดฟแบบประมาณว่าเอ่อมีปัญหาอยู่แล้วอ่ะแบบชีวิตพังเพราะตัวเองอ่ะไม่ได้พังเพราะมิสแอมเบอร์อ่ะเพื่อ
May 25th, 2007. Johnny Depp's star power looks as wobbly as Jack Sparrow on a plank. Did I read?
มึงถ้าแบบถ้ามันแย่อยู่แล้วแล้วกัปตันแจ็คสเปโร่เขาจะจ้างป่าทำไมตั้ง5 ภาคอ่ะ
Read that right.
You read that very, very well.
The next one, Hollywood Reporter, May 27th, 2000. Did I read that
Allegedly,
correctly?
reports say this is hearsay. is
June
it not?
21st, 2018, 6 months before the inside the trials of Johnny Depp. Did I read that right?
You did. You should read the article. It's
And the
wonderful.
last one, June 22nd, 2018. Allison Beauchamp
น่าสง
reveals
สาร
why Hollywood's reeling over what's being called Johnny Depp's career note. Did I read that correctly?
You did. Who's Alison Beauchamp and how does she know?
Mr.
So
Depp,
yeah, you
you
look
can't
like my
name
ex. Are you
a
from
single
Thailand?
actor.
Yes sir, I'm
No
from
further
Thailand.
Ladies and gentlemen, why don't we go ahead and take our morning recess for 15 minutes? Do not.
Sean Bailey, who was the number 3.
Objection, hearsay.
I don't know yet. I'll overrule it at this point.
Oh, I like he's so cute. He doesn't look like someone almost 60 years old. Like he's still charming, still hot.
May I continue, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Just basically said in the...
Objection, hearsay.
Your
What
Honor,
Sean Bailey said.
this is about him
It's
learning
in
about this.
article.
It's not for the truth.
It is the truth. She's
Do
asking.
you want to approach?
Mr. Depp, could you please explain to the jury who Sean Bailey is? I think you were starting to.
Yes, I'll try again. Sean Bailey was
Johnny's style
quoted
is so cool, yeah.
as saying that
Objection, hearsay.
He's like so
Mr. Depp,
stylish,
where was Sean Bailey quoted? Without getting into what he was
cool,
quoted.
charming, hot.
no, who did the interview with him?
Objection, lack of foundation.
His charisma is so like over the top.
Mr. Depp,
Had been approached to take part in writing
Objection,
Pirate
hearsay.
6.
last week, Mr. Rottenborn asked you about a quote where you said you wouldn't come back to the Pirates franchise for $300 million and a million alpacas. Do you remember that?
I do.
What? Do you recall when specifically you
Why the alpaca?
made that statement about the $300 million and the 100 alpacas?
Objection, asked and answered.
Overruled all that.
What? What's wrong with the alpaca?
Mr. Depp, do you recognize this document?
As soon as my eyes go on,
Aw.
hopefully will. Oh, there it goes. Oh, I'm so pathetic when it comes to knowing what movies I've done. I'm sorry. I just
He,
I don't.
he
watch
don't
them.
watch his
I
movie.
feel better not watching them. I couldn't. What was the question again?
จอนนี่ไม่ดูหนังที่ตัวเองเล่น
I have order in the court, or I will have you removed. Understood?
How would you describe Mr. Bettany's relationship with Miss Heard while you and Miss Heard were together?
Abominable.
Mr. Depp, I
Aw.
believe this is another text message with Mr. Bettany that you were shown on your cross-examination.
Oh yay.
And when he came home from school,
Your Honor, I'm just going to object on relevance. The question was, who was this about?
We can move on.
Okay.
Mr. Depp, what if any portion of this email exchange is literally true?
we're all set to leave here at approximately 1:30 p.m. Hope you rested well. I believe there's also a napkin down there where
Objection,
someone
Your Honor. Lack
what?
of foundation. He's referring to exhibits that aren't in evidence. And
All right,
I have no idea whether they even exist.
I'll sustain the objection now. Next question.
You didn't know what could cause damage to Mr. Depp's hand while you were there on March 8th, correct?
Dr. Kipper told me he sustained an injury on one of his
Well,
fingers.
objection, hearsay.
What the fuck?
Okay, he sustained an injury to his finger.
โคตรโง่เลย
Hearsay.
Wait, you asked the question.
Okay, he said he sustained an injury.
โคตรเหี้ยไอ้เหี้ย Dave look like mafia. Yes, he is. He look like Jack Sparrow all the time. Actually, he has interview before. The Jack Sparrow character is literally from his personality. Do you understand what I mean? Like, actually the director or like the owner of this movie doesn't expect that the Jack Sparrow would be this way, but according to Johnny Depp is a actor, so eventually the Jack Sparrow like is totally Johnny Depp, like, because he gave his personality a lot in this character. I'm not gonna do any reaction or anything that you are request today, okay? I'm gonna do what I wanna do.
What?
It's. Do you think?
No.
No, right? Relationship to that crazy woman,
Mhm.
but and then you're seeing it all play out in court. Like you're seeing all the crazy come out. You know, do you know the fact? Like he talked about her shitting in his bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
So hot.
It's. Do you think?
No.
No, right? It's a real problem. Hard to forget.
It's a real problem.
That's hard to forget. But she said that she used this specific makeup to cover all of her bruises that Johnny gave her.
That's fucked up.
And,
specific makeup.
And that specific. Well, the problem is it was a specific makeup, and it turns out that the company didn't even make that makeup at the time that she was claiming she was using it.
Oh wow. That's crazy. Really?
Yeah, but that's what happens with people like that.
Yeah.
People that are just completely manipulative and full of shit like that.
Oh, about Elon Musk.
Saw that.
Apparently, it's going down.
It happened.
Oh shit!
What?
Oh shit!
The press release has been announced.
Yes.
Elon Musk just bought Twitter. We got a movie star type of a superhero. It's like a movie. Like if you had a movie and there was a guy who was like a hero in the movie.
Actually, like I feel like Elon
Like,
Musk
makes his own rockets,
is kind of
drills
like the
Electric
Tony
cars,
Stark
buys
in
Twitter.
real life.
Insane.
Elon Musk agrees to buy Twitter in a
Oh.
$44 billion deal. Agreement to take social media network private marks the close of dramatic
Yes.
courtship. Here's why that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, tell
'Cause
me. I
first of
need to
all,
hear what you think.
He believes that free speech is important, and not just important, vital for a democracy.
Yeah,
for
of course.
A functioning democracy. And I agree with that. And what's interesting about this is look, we found out some things about Twitter, and one of the things they do is shadow ban people. So they make it so that your content, whatever you put out, has less impact. It has less engagement. They limit your ability to express yourself.
Yes.
They ban accounts, and they ban accounts if the account says something that they don't agree with. If the account says something that violates what they believe. Also, this ability to shadow ban people has to be exposed.
Right. That happens on TikTok. Do you see
Yes.
that clip you just saw?
Yes.
Where I call
All the time on TikTok. It's like all the freaking time.
down, and I was put on probation.
Well, TikTok
So-
is rough with that.
It's the roughest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think they don't want anything that interrupts ad revenue and anything that gets them.
Can someone buy TikTok and please?
Yeah.
Maybe
help
Elon
with
will
Buy TikTok and then delete it. Like, like buy it and delete it.
buy TikTok next.
Jesus.
But maybe the Chinese won't sell. Maybe if they sell it, it'll be like one of them deals. Like you think you bought it, but there's nothing
Right.
in it.
I doubt someone's going to
And then they
sell.
reopen.
They're not going to sell TikTok.
They-
But they're really the worst. They're the
TikTok's the worst.
The worst.
I
I
don't
can't
use
believe
TikTok.
I didn't think they were gonna that was gonna happen with him on Twitter. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Apparently, it was really close yesterday, and I'd heard it, this morning that it was probably going to happen. But the fact that it's now announced, that's fucking amazing.
Yes.
Look, it'll change everything, and I wonder how quickly it is before Donald Trump's back.
I think I already saw the thing. He said he's not going to come back, even if.
Oh,
I
really?
didn't see a reason why, but that's
Oh,
Variety reported
I'll
that.
tell you exactly why. Because of his Truth Social, social media. Why are we playing around with this Twitter shit? We could be on Truth Social.
Is that big?
That's Donald Trump's social
I mean,
media
but
platform.
is it big?
The
No.
biggest.
Is it?
It's the best. It's the biggest. The biggest of all time. They say that
No,
Twitter's
it's
not as
not
big.
that big.
Donald Trump says, I'm not going back to Twitter, even with Elon Musk taking over. Donald, reconsider.
It's not that big. It's not that big. Finally. Sati.
Of these various dates.
Amber Heard now called Julie. Huh?
Wild, right?
It's insane seeing the level of support.
Tug, honor to have you on the channel. How you doing, man?
Hey there, man. I'm doing good. How are you doing, brother?
Dude, I'm doing great. I love the fact that we're finally getting justice for Johnny, right? It's fine. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing the turnout there?
I am, man.
It's wild, right?
It's insane seeing the level of support. You know, everything from 4 years ago to
out there, but I saw your tweet you for all the work you've done in this case. They've been trying to dox you and do all this stuff against your reporting. So first of all, I just want to thank you for all the work you've done over the years, keeping us updated. So thank you for that. And you actually put out a tip. How many people are actually doing this though, do you think? Is it...
2 to 4 people. 2 to 4 people in Virginia are doing this, but the main people responsible too.
So, and it's anyway. So these flyers are being handed out in person in the outside the courtroom.
เล่นวิธีสกปรกด้วยไอ้เหี้ยน่าเกลียดว่ะ
All right, I have 45 seconds to a minute if this is going to work out. I want to say that you are hearing from people that are very frustrated. They are oppressed and they are very, very tired. You're hearing from people who are emotionally exhausted. And you are coming from a place of privilege. I don't expect you to have the same perception as they do, but you need to hear what they are saying. And from your language, you want to argue. And that is really unfortunate because these people care. And
so what does your sign say, by the way?
The alt-right threaten lives and kills.
So it's somehow me that wants to argue and you say I threaten lives and kills?
Wait, I'm sorry, what was the question again?
No, I mean, I'm asking, you're saying I'm the one that's here to argue and you're wearing a sign that says Charlie Kirk threatens lives and kills. And I'm the one provoking disagreement.
It's not an argument, it's a statement. Also...
No, you accuse me of wanting to argue with people, and I'm saying you're the one wearing a sign accusing me of threatening lives and killing.
I've been sitting there this whole time listening to you. I have not been the one that has been calling out. I ask that you give me the opportunity to listen to me as I have listened to you.
I asked you a question.
Yeah. You hear.
So go ahead. You got the floor.
Thank you. I will say this. I will say that you use the name of God, and God is not with you, and you are a false prophet, and to those that... Your influence, you are an oppressor,
Oh my god, I hate feminists. Fuck feminists. If anyone asks me that you're a feminist, you're feminine, shut up. I'm not. I hate it. Hate it. Just bunch of dumb female. Hate it. Actually, they doesn't want equal. They want double standard. They doesn't want equal. Women can't take equal. They don't. Stupid.
I have other uses for your throat which do not include injury.
อันเนี้ยตลก
I have other uses for your throat which do not include injury.
Sorry, could you read that again?
I just said I want to be respectful of the court's time and the jury's time, and I trust that you do too. So,
well, I don't feel like I'm wasting anyone's time, sir.
As a lesbian camp counselor was plenty. Your future is on display. Best of luck.
Best if luck.
Thank you for the correction. Best if luck.
You're welcome.
And thanks for the tip. Don't call again. I will begin to feel embarrassed for you. Go away, coach. Hup. Done. Did I read that right?
Go away, coach. Done. Hup.
Thank you. Otherwise, did I read that right?
Sure.
ไอ้เหี้ยน่ารักว่ะ
You heard Miss Heard say get off me, right?
No, I did not. Hitting the wall hard.
I have class in the morning. Okay ค่ะ บ๊ายบายครับ
The accusations that she brought. I'm sorry, I was talking. Is that all right?
You would answer my question. We'll take a look at the next.